Every bearing has its starting point, the point where the measurement starts from towards another bearing. And that helps us to properly interpret a question into geometry or trigonometry. Now, the question says 3 points ABC on on a horizontal plane, right? That's on a flat surface. We're told that B is 25 meter on a bearing of 48 degrees from A. You see, this from is very important, which determines the starting point. So it means B started from A towards B. So if this is our point A, right? Obviously, this is a true bearing from. Now, B is 48 degrees from A. So starting from the north, going towards the east, 48 degrees will be somewhere in the middle, right? Before 90 degrees. So we move towards point A, right? Which has its own north degree. Of course, if you extend this downward, this point will also be 48 degrees, right? Alternate angles. This is 048 degrees, the bearing. Alternate angles are the same. Now, we continue to interpret. We're now told that point C on the bearing has bearing 88 degree and 138 degree from A and B respectively. That is, C has 88 degrees from A. 88 degrees. Oh, sorry, this is point B rather. So from A now, 88 degrees. So always start from the north. 88 degree will also be before 90 degree. So somewhere here. So we go this way towards this way. Now we're not identifying our point C yet, because we're also told that the same point C is 138 degrees from point B. So starting from the north, 138 degree will be before 180. So let's say somewhere here, right? So we move, draw point C now from this point. Now the point of intersection between A and B is now our point C, right? That also has its north pole, point C, right? So this is 138 degrees. Now, if this is 138 degrees, from this point to this point is 180 degrees. So we can get this point, which will be 180 minus 138 degrees. And that should be 42 degrees, yes. So this is 42 degrees. So we have a triangle already. So this whole angle in the triangle will be 48 plus 42, which is 90 degrees, right? And then this is 88 degrees on the bearing from this point to this point. This point to this point is 48 degrees. So we can get this point, right, in the triangle, which will be 88 minus 48, and that will give us 40 degrees. So this point is 40 degrees. So we have this is 40 degrees, this is 90 degrees. We know that this last angle in the triangle will be what? 50 degrees. Because sum of angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. We already have this to be 90 degrees. We have this to be 40 degrees. To get this, we sum these two up, which is 130 degrees, and subtract it from 180, which is 50 degrees. Now, we're told that the distance from A to B is 25 meters, right? So this is 25 meters. Now, this is, if this angle B is 90 degrees in the triangle, it means it is a right angled triangle. That is a triangle that has one of its angles to equal 90 degrees. And then the side facing the right angle triangle is the longest side, which is the hypotenuse, right? In the right angle. And question A says we should find the distance of A to C. distance of A to C. A to C, which is the hypotenuse. So let's call that X. Now, we are only given from the question one side, but we have all angles. So for us to use Pythagoras theorem, we must be given two sides. And since we're not given two sides, what do? We use SOHCAHTOA. Right? So if I'm making use of angle 40 degree that was given in the question, right? Angle 40 degree, and we're given side 25 meters. We are looking for hypotenuse. Now, 25 meters is hypotenuse, right? I mean adjacent to angle 40 degrees, because the angle we are considering is 40 degrees. So 25 meters, which is the side given, is adjacent to 40 degrees. And then X is hypotenuse. From SOHCAHTOA, cos is that the angle, right, that has both adjacent and hypotenuse. What does that mean? It means we are using cos theta, which is 40 degrees now, equal adjacent over hypotenuse, right? Same thing. So is sine theta equal opposite over hypotenuse. Tua is tan theta equals opposite over adjacent. But from the parameters given using 40 degrees, we only have adjacent and hypotenuse. So that tells us that we are using cos, right? Cos 40 degree. Where we know that our adjacent is 25 meters. And then hypotenuse is what we are looking for, which is X. So we can then say that cos 40 degrees is equal adjacent, which is 25, over hypotenuse, which is X. So that if you cross multiply, we would have X cos 40 to equal 25. Divide both sides by cos 40 so that we can have X. Divide both sides by cos 40. And then this guy will go. So that our X is equal 25 divided by cos 40. On the calculator, we have 25 divided by cos 40 now. That is approximately 33 kilometers. So our X is not exactly equal to, our X is approximately, right, 33 meters rather. Right? Approximately 33 meters. The question is given in meters, not kilometers. Now, and I'm using approximately because I've approximated the exact figure is around 32.6351 and many other figures behind it. But since I need to leave my answer in the nearest meter, right, I have the answer is now approximated. It's not exactly equal to. So X is approximately 33 meters. Now, question 2 says, the B question says, find the bearing of A from C. You see, this from is very important. So it means we are looking for the bearing of A. Remember, this is line A, but the A is starting from C. So if you start from your North Pole, you are going towards this point where we met the line A, right? So this will be our bearing from of A rather, from C. All right, so now we need to find the bearing from the north up to point A, that is from this point to this point. Now remember, the north poles between 2 points are parallel. So if this angle is 42 degrees, it means that this angles too will be 42 degrees, alternate angle. So which means from this point to this point will be 92 degrees, right? So if from this point to this point is 92 degrees, and from this point to this point is 360 degrees, so we can get from this point to this point, which means from this point to this point will be 360 degrees minus 92 degrees, and that gives us 268 degrees. So this is 268 degrees. So it simply means that the bearing of A from C is 268 degrees. Thank you for watching. Please do well to like, share, and comment. If this is the first time of you coming across my YouTube channel, please do well to subscribe and click the notification button so that you'll be notified when we drop videos like this. We drop videos like this every day of every week. I'll see you in the next class. Bye for now.